you lose. If you make it, you're in a position to win. Gonna go for two here. He's going for two. If you don't make this, you lose. If you make it, you're in a position to win. Caught him!
One-handed catch as he goes up and gets it.
That's just a heck of a play. Gonna go for two, go for two here. Caught him!
One-handed catch as he goes up and gets it.
Gonna go for two here. If you don't make this, you lose. If you make it, you're in a position to win. Gonna go for two here. Caught him!
Okay, we are live here again. Season 2, Episode 5, presented by our friends over at Cool Bet. You can see the logos behind me. Kalen's got the sweater. Chad's probably got the shirt, or he's chewing on golf balls or golf tees over there. So much stuff floating around. But boys, we're going to jump right in. And our pal Carson Wentz seems like he's back at practice. So, Kalen, what's going on there?
Okay, so I don't understand it. You have two quarterbacks. Sam Ehlinger did not have a very good opening or second game there. Okay, I'll say that. But you have two capable quarterbacks. The Colts are not a weak team as far as across the board roster-wise. Why would you not take the opportunity for somebody who's been a Band-Aid for the last few years to get some rest? Listen, man, I'm enjoying the burn. Again, I've seen this division just continue to burn around me. I think this is a horrible decision. I think it's a big, big push to have him back week 1, seeing that he's back at practice already today, like throwing the ball around and putting some weight on it and stuff. I know he wasn't with the team or anything, but
No,
still.
he played 7-on-7, man.
Oh, did he actually do 7? That's crazy, man. Like, it's just that the guy had surgery 2.5 weeks ago. They said it was going to be 5 to 12 weeks here. We're only 2 weeks out. I'm all about fast healers. It's the preseason. We got players who haven't even seen the field yet that are starters. Why are you pushing this guy back so quickly?
Chad, you going to push a quarterback back that fast or what?
No. The only thing that makes sense is either he was never as bad as they said, or he's got some miracle fucking drug that's helping that foot heal. But yeah, they need to get that relationship back between Carson and the rest of the guys. So it makes sense they want him back. They want him on the field. They want him at practice. Just being around the guys too, so they get that relationship back. But no, I don't understand why they were forcing him back yet. I think you could have waited till week 3 or 4, gave him a couple more weeks, but obviously that's why they're there and we're here, and hopefully I'm wrong for his sake. But it doesn't make any sense at all why they're forcing something back like this. If this is going to be your guy going forward.
Well, the rumor around town is that the Colts were trying to hide him from the vid list, and that's what was up. Is him and Quentin Nelson were vidded, and they didn't know how it was going to go, so they manufactured an ankle injury or a foot injury. But I mean, I think that's bullshit. I doubt highly that they would do something like that. But that's that's the rumor mill right now. That's because we're in preseason.
That's the as the world turns rumors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what else are you going to talk about right now? Like, we are, of course, because we're football junkies. We're all sitting here counting down to week 2 Monday night football preseason, mostly because we want to see Trevor Lawrence. But when it comes to the Colts, I think a lot of people wrote them off. Like Chad wrote them off. We thought 12 weeks. We were thinking November.
Goodbye.
There's no way. Yeah. But as the coach, so put your coach hat on for a sec, Chad. Obviously, we're the ones sitting here. They're the ones sitting there. But this guy practices all week. He's obviously not playing in the 3rd preseason game. But are you starting this guy week 1?
Against the Seahawks. They start week 1 against the Hawks.
Well, if he's healthy, he's going.
Okay.
I was just watching NFL Network, and they said he was doing 7-on-7 and individual drills. He wasn't doing any team stuff yet. So all signs point to he's probably playing week 1, because that's 3.5 weeks out right now.
Yeah.
So I imagine he'll be on the field unless something drastically changes in his progress where it's really slowing him down, which also makes that kind of rumor you're talking about kind of not sound as crazy as possible.
Right.
Like, if you don't want that going around your locker room and just that attention to your quarterback and to your new face, I would say he had a foot injury too. All day long I would.
Well, exactly, because you could basically hide it, and all these other guys that are potential close contacts, like think of all that practice time that they're going to lose. Like a guy like Cam Newton, who we're going to talk about a little bit later, and he didn't get bitted. He just, he got screwed over. But he's losing, in my opinion. Well, I'll save my opinion first. He's losing a lot of practice reps on something like that. And if you have Ellinger and Eason sitting there, who are probably close contacts with Carson Wentz, you really don't. You can't afford to have all these guys missing practice. You can't bring new guys in. So I don't know, man. Seems a little fishy out there. Your boy, the Colts are doing what they need to do.
Yeah. Whatever. Let him burn, man. Hopefully it doesn't work out for him. And that's not me hoping a further injury on Carson Wentz.
That's all I heard. You're a horrible person. Literally just wish bad things on a human being. He's a ginger just like you. You're supposed to stick together.
No, what I wish on them is that they lose in the waning moments of every game this season. I would really enjoy seeing that. Hail Marys or with the inside of 30-second, last-second field goals kind of thing. Oh, yeah, all day long.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. And I mean, the fact that they're getting Ryan Kelly back and Quentin Nelson back, both, again, didn't do team stuff. They did their individual whatever. I don't know, man. I think that the Colts are a viable they're a viable team in that division. Maybe cancel that order for those T-shirts and caps that you were pre-ordering before the season even started here.
Stop it. I got excited about the defense that was played over the weekend by my boys. So
yeah, because the preseason matters so much.
Hey, listen, when you're one of the worst historical defenses in the NFL, yes, the preseason matters. That's just gains, especially when the starters played the whole way through.
So your starters beat up on children.
Oh, enough.
You beat up on kids that are. We're cutting 32 guys this week, and your starters are playing and you're happy about it. That worries me.
What? They should have won. Our starters, it's a whole turnover. Outside of maybe a couple of DBs, we turned over our entire secondary.
I'm just saying you guys should be winning that bad. Like, we're cutting all 32 guys that played yesterday.
No.
Did Tom play at all?
No.
I would say Kyle Trask looked like shit.
Yeah.
Absolute shit. And not like, don't bury him, whatever. I mean, it's probably his second NFL game. He probably played in the first one, I'm assuming. And he was playing with a bunch of guys that are going to get cut, obviously. But yeah, his throws were absolute dog shit. We'll see where that goes.
It's tough when they're getting pressured heat the whole game.
You guys want to talk a little bit of preseason versus dual team practices, or you want to do quarterback battles? Because I got a little bit of both lined up for you.
Just rapid fire. Let's go.
Yeah. And by the way,
I like surprises.
If you're into baseball, hockey, or basketball, and you're expecting us to talk about that today, it's not on the list. So you did not make the list. You might as well drop off right now. All right, let's go quarterback battles, because we obviously Chad wrote an article about Andy Dalton and Justin Fields. We tried to talk a little bit about it with Casey, but she doesn't have the attention span to pay attention. So that was a difficult one to get around. So we didn't really talk too much in depth about it. Obviously, Dalton has come out and said, yeah, Justin Fields is the future, but this is my time. This is my game. Since then, he has been booed on home turf in a preseason game.
Yeah. Are you shocked, though, from Chicago fans? Like, they're idiots, too.
Yeah. Well, hey, like, when it comes down to it, after that hit that we saw Justin Fields take, I'm not sure that if I was a Bears fan, I would want him starting. Their offensive line is not ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was okay. So Andy Dalton obviously had a better game, okay, but the offense still wasn't stagnant with Fields in either. He took a big hit. So take a step back. He's had two pretty well played games. I don't know, man. Chicago is right there. Like, defensively, they're a decent team. They're right there, and they're in a division right now that's in flux. So I don't think they should be able to make a push here. I've been liking Justin Fields to the draft. You guys know that. So get the man in. He throws the ball up. He puts opportunities out there.
I don't think they're ready. And I think Chad agrees with me. I'm going to let him go.
Like after what happened with the Mitch Trubisky experiment, we'll call it.
Who
Who
torched
didn't
him
get booed? He didn't
Who?
get booed. He got cheered.
Yeah,
And then
and he
Dalton gets
torched him.
booed.
And he
Yeah, yeah.
and he torched
Yeah. But after that whole like debacle, we'll call it, that guy never got a fair chance. His confidence was gone. They didn't. They pretty much ran him out of town. They didn't give him the option. He had a horrible head coach. The head coach is still there. Now you're gonna put you're gonna put a new rookie in the same situation. No,
Right.
like if Nagy could be gone at the end of this year, if Nagy comes out and goes 0-4, which they could,
Absolutely.
0-5 or 1-5 or 2-6 or whatever they could be, that's when you can yank Andy Dalton. And then no matter what Justin Fields does, it's just about improving. The same thing that happened with Eli Manning and Kurt Warner X amount of years ago. They already knew what they were doing. Kurt Warner knew what it was. Andy Dalton knows what this is. It's a job interview for next year for him. All he has to do is come out there. If he balls out, he'll get a good contract next year and go somewhere else. If he plays like dog shit, he might not be a backup. You can't play bad and be a bad teammate.
Right.
So of course he's going to be Justin Fields' number one cheerleader, and helping him out as much as he can, and helping him out in the meeting rooms, being his rah guy. Because at the end of the day, if Andy Dalton doesn't have a great year, but he's great in the locker room, and he's great in the meeting rooms, and being there for the young guy, the veteran minimum in the NFL for a quarterback is probably going to be around $8 million. I'll take $8 million to sit on my ass at this point in his career. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I mean, I would love to say that he accomplished something, but like Andy Dalton hasn't really accomplished a whole lot. He made the playoffs with Cincinnati, I think. They lost
3 times.
Yeah,
3 times,
Yeah.
0-3.
I know, and 2 of those times the Steelers knocked him out. I was being a little bit facetious, but yeah, I mean, if you would have asked me before the preseason started, I was in the same camp as Kalen. Just let him play. But I think Chicago's a little bit further away than you think that they are, and maybe the defense is okay. David Montgomery's supposed to have a bounce back year, but like I don't know how you can bounce back when you were never there in the first place. I don't know, man. I'm writing off the Bears. They're going to be a top 5 team. Like they're going to be a team that's drafting in the top 5 next year. At least you know they don't have to pick one of the quarterbacks. They can get another skill player for Justin Fields, or I don't know, maybe like a left tackle, so he's not on his back the entire time. But I would stick with Dalton week 1, and then as soon as the coach probably gets on the hot seat, then he'll go to Fields and whatever. But I would say Nagy's out at the end of this year. Here's maybe a hotter topic. Mac Jones or Cam Newton. And what I kind of held back on before was this Cam Newton thing. I think that this is going to solidify why this is Mac Jones's job. This guy is going to miss 5 crucial practices down the stretch here. And it's hard to imagine that he's playing in the 3rd preseason game. So you can't really put anything on tape. But they have 4 quarterbacks right now in New England. Are you keeping Cam? So my opinion is Mac Jones is a starter. Are you keeping Cam around, or is he one of your cut him, let him go play somewhere else kind of thing?
Cut him.
Yeah.
Really, eh? He's paid next to nothing. I would keep him around at least just for what he brings to the team. His teammates obviously like him. But like, yeah, you mentioned a disadvantage. He is a huge disadvantage to the organization competitively. Mac Jones has not been bad offensively in both preseason games. He's made very decisive reads when he needs to. He's played better than Cam. It's nice seeing that Cam has a bullet arm still. We haven't seen that in a couple of years. He's been able to kind of show that off in the preseason again. But this is Mac's team, I think. He's done enough. And the COVID thing is huge. And last year we saw how big of an advantage that can be with teams like Denver rolling out players that hadn't thrown an NFL pass ever. So it just doesn't need to go down that road if you don't have to, you know?
Yeah, Mac Jones gives them a better opportunity. Like, there's no way that anyone's comparing Mac Jones to Tom Brady. So let's just get that out there right now. That's kind of silly. Their body shapes aren't quite the same as you know, Chad's been writing about. But he is better suited to run the offense that they want to run versus what Cam Newton does. And the Cam Newton style offense, it didn't work for New England. I don't know why. It seemed like it flashed a little bit, but it's just not there. So, Chad, tell me, as the quarterback's coach, who you want to run out there for week 1.
You're running out Mac Jones in that situation. Which it sounds like I'm saying all the complete opposite things I said about Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But I trust Bill Belichick a whole lot more to protect Mac Jones than I do Matt Nagy to protect Justin Fields. I also trust Mac Jones not to get hit. That's the one big thing that'll really keep him out there more. And as far as the Andy Dalton and Cam Newton thing, I just don't think Cam will take that role in the proper way.
Right.
Also, Cam Newton's never once been called the smartest quarterback in the league.
Right. And if it came down to it, I think that you want Brian Hoyer on the sideline with Mac Jones, right?
All day. Yeah. I want a quarterback who's going to play a similar style to my quarterback so that when he comes to the sidelines, they can have those conversations.
Right.
Opposed to a quarterback who literally their games don't translate. So unfortunately, it's like you got to go one way or the other. And when they drafted Mac Jones, they brought him in for a reason.
Right.
Like he wasn't supposed to be there, I don't think. And they like, oh, we got our guy. And Belichick loves Nick Saban guys. That's never been a lie. He drafts all of them. He's never had to draft a quarterback before though.
Right.
And so far, Mac Jones has done everything right. He hasn't been getting hit. He gets rid of the ball quick. I don't think he's turned it over yet. But I think with the offense that Bill runs, that quick nickel and diming it down the field is kind of similar to what he did at Alabama. Quick RPO, get the ball out as fast as possible. And I think he'll do okay there.
Having
Right.
3 boss tight ends is pretty helpful too.
And it helps a young quarterback, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be running out and drafting any New England receivers, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Someone just blasted our comments thing, and I think it might be a virus or spam. I'm not sure what it is. Liam, I'll let you take a look at that. Yeah, don't click those. Do not click those links, anybody.
Yeah, what happened? I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not paying that much attention to it. But while Liam's sorting that out, this is, I guess this is kind of like the Mr. Insurance Man segment that we're talking about here, because you want to have your insurance man. And if you want to have a Mr. Insurance Man, you want to go to our friends at Toboggan Brewing Company on Richmond, and they will set you up. Of course, I'm more of a fan of drinking out of jock straps, but that's just
They have both there, though.
I think you read that wrong. You're supposed to say Chad's more of a fan. You can't tell yourself that you like drinking out of jock straps. Oh,
that's okay. Chad's getting his.
I'm more of a compression shorts kind of guy. I don't just wring those things out. I don't need it. I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't ready for that one, were you?
Just a bunch of fucking deviants.
Welcome back from vacation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm not at the college anymore. So I do have another quarterback controversy that I didn't know was a controversy until today. I heard him talking about it. Is there any possible way that Gardner Minshew starts over Trevor Lawrence week 1? Any possible way?
Next topic.
No.
Really? It was a debate on a show I listened to. I'll move on. Drew
That's
Lock.
the most ridiculous thing I've heard.
Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater.
Now you're just gonna piss me off.
What, the Drew Lock thing?
No, the fucking Trevor Lawrence thing. That's a crock of shit.
Yeah, I heard it. Man, it was.
Colin Cowherd knows so much about sports.
No, dude, it was Pat McAfee that was talking about it, but they said that there's an outside chance that it happens. And
I think there's an outside fan base that wants it to happen.
Yeah, they just said, it's new coach. Do you really want to thrust this guy in there if you know that he's your future? Maybe your team's not ready. I say 100% he's going to start every single game, even if he breaks Peyton Manning's interception record. Or it's probably, I don't know if it's Jameis Winston's interception record at this point. He might take them both. But
I think they co-own it.
Yeah. So let's go on to Denver then. Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater. This one, like, to us, basically looking at it, it looks like it's pretty even. And if it's even, you're probably giving it to the guy that has more of a future with your franchise, in my opinion. But we don't see what's happening in practice. We don't really know what's going on. But where are you guys leaning between Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock? And by the way, can I point out, it's pretty cool that we just got virus hacked, right?
Yeah. I think that means we made it.
It's got to, right? Perfect. Yeah, I'll switch
Yeah.
over to YouTube.
But yeah, no. As far as the Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater thing, that's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I'm a huge fan of Teddy Bridgewater. Super accurate, doesn't make mistakes. He's boring as hell. Everybody knows that. But Drew Lock has issues holding on to the football. Like every time I ever see that guy, he's putting the ball on the ground or in the other team's jersey. He's had lots of chances. They gave him weapons. I think they're gonna let those guys battle it out like next week, and it's gonna be one of those things where it's like you get half a game, you get half the game, and it's gonna be like it's like the final round of like a 15-round boxing match back in the 50s. Just keep swinging till you can't swing no more, and that's who's gonna come out of there on top because it's that close.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think like a guy like Drew Lock is starting to show some of the potential that everybody thought he had, and it's not like we're fitting him for a gold jacket or anything. It's the preseason, but you can only play the games with the people that are in front of you, and it seems like he's making the most out of it. And I don't see anything that Teddy Bridgewater is doing that would unseat him. So if it was me, I think that I would send Drew Lock out for the first 3 drives and let Teddy Bridgewater play the rest of the game, maybe into the third quarter, and let some of the scrubs come in after. But I think Drew Lock is the starter.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason, I think, to roll Teddy Bridgewater out there. You already know what he gives you after this many years in the league and on the 2 teams that he's played for. Is it 2 or 3 now? 3 teams, sorry, that he's played for. What he brings. Drew Lock you have much further upside potential with Drew Lock than you do Bridgewater at this point. And let's be realistic. Not realistic. Maybe my opinion here. They're number 3 in the division. I still think that Justin Herbert is an absolute freak of a quarterback, and he has enough to carry the team. I think he's going to learn enough through the offseason and coming into year 2 that he's going to win some games on his own. And I think that may come at the expense of the Broncos a couple of times, honestly. So I think just roll with what you got this year. I know every team's supposed to build to be competitive. You shouldn't be throwing in the towel already.
Yeah.
But I think the Chiefs are then obviously number 1 in that division. And I just think that the Chargers can be a nice number 2.
Perfect. All right. So at the request of one of our YouTube viewers, James Lill, he would like us to talk a little bit about week 0 college. So we're going to jump to college for a second. He wanted us to talk about it before the Saints game started. We're all about the fans, so let's just make this happen. He's put some betting lines in here, so I'll help him out a little bit with it. UTEP right now is -9 against New Mexico State. I don't really like ever giving up more than a touchdown, especially in week 0 against 2 teams you don't know a ton about. But I do think that UTEP will cover that spread. New Mexico State does not have the firepower to keep up with them. So he put a Big Ten game in here.
Hitting home.
So the one that he has in here right now is Nebraska and Illinois. Nebraska right now is a -7, so they're getting an entire touchdown. I got to tell you, I am not a big fan of Nebraska. I do not think that Scott Frost is doing a good job. It always seems to be some kind of controversy going over there. I think this is probably not his last year there, but he's starting to his seat is starting to heat up a little bit. And to me, I am hammering Illinois +7, hammering it. Plus, we got a couple of guys from London that are out. Well, who are the boys, Chad?
The Browns twins, Sidney and Chase Brown.
Yeah.
Running back and safety, and they're both starting running back, starting safety. So
yeah, we'll get this on cool.
Both
the Brown brothers are scoring a touchdown. Yeah, both Brown brothers are getting a touchdown in that game. Boom. Put that down on the props.
Nebraska is always good for losing a really weird game too every year, right? Against like a team that would be like Illinois. Like I know it's division and everything. You can't really compete against division or bet against division like that, but that's a team that you would expect them to beat. And I think that yes, they probably could lose to a team like that.
Man,
surprisingly,
I don't think it should be that high of a spread. I think if we were looking at like 3 points, the betting favor might go to Nebraska, but something is not right in Nebraska, and I don't think that they're ready for what is coming down the pipe for them. They're in for another disappointing season, and they very well could just miss a bowl game altogether yet again. They're in the they should be more competitive in the weaker side, and they're just not.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm gonna roll Illinois. See what else he's. So he thinks. He wants to know if we should take the under in that game, which is 55.
I'll go under in week 0 Big Ten football. I should get an under on that.
Yeah. It's like that's like the worst bet to make in football, though. Like to bet the under because you're watching it like basically expecting people to not score. But yeah, I agree with Chad. It's Big Ten football. Scott Frost's shitty offense.
And Illinois runs the ball, so it's hard to put up a lot of points when you're a run first team.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that one being something, if we call it 24-20 Illinois or Nebraska, whichever way, we're still on the under. We still cover. Let's roll with that. I think that's pretty fair. And he's got a 27-point spread for Fresno State and UConn. Dude, just stay away from that one.
That's
those are the
way
games.
too
That's
much
how they get
playing.
you.
Yeah, that's how you lose your parlay right there.
Yeah, four touchdowns week 1. I mean, we're not talking about Alabama playing like Northeastern shit. This is UConn is not a football powerhouse by any means.
They're not giving up that on a spread.
I'm not comfortable betting with a 4-touchdown spread.
Yeah.
And then UCLA, it looks like they're going to Hawaii based on the way that he sent it to me. So there's a little, UCLA is pretty good. We'll give you UCLA. I would hope that spread will come down. So let other people hammer that and let the price come down a little bit. And if you can get UCLA 16.5, so that at least if they win by 3 scores, you're not pushing, I'd be much more comfortable with that.
Is it sitting at 17 right now?
Sitting right at 17. So like
Well,
that.
Yeah, you gotta let that. You gotta let that come down.
Yeah,
Their home tuition.
UCLA's home.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just reading it the way that it came into me. I mean, even at home, can they win by 3 scores? Absolutely. Is it going to piss you off if they win by 17 and you push? Yeah. So just either take the 17.5 and go really risky, or let it come down to 16.5, or find it somewhere at 16.5 and just take that. That's my opinion on that. And I know Chad kind of agrees with me when it comes to this. We don't like to give up 3 scores and have the uneven number. So
I just
Freaky
want to
things
win
should
by 3
happen if
scores.
the-
Way bad.
Freaky things could happen in Hawaii, but like if they're playing in UCLA, Hawaii doesn't travel well.
I don't know, man. Air Hawaii is coming into LAX airport there, and we'll see what happens. But UCLA seemed like they were putting something together last year. It'll be interesting to see if they can carry that in. By no means do I think that Hawaii is coming in for the win at all. But, as I've explained, if you're laying 3 scores, I would rather have an uneven number so that I kind of know where I stand and know what to root for. You don't want a field goal to just kind of ruin it for you. But that's kind of week 0. Week 1 for college is going to be pretty hyped up. That's when Georgia and Clemson go. And we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that one probably next week. But before we came on here, I was talking to you guys, I guess it was sometime around lunchtime, and I said, pull your top 8 teams for college, and we're going to pretend as if the college football playoff was expanded to 8. And we're not going to run through it like who's going to win, who's going to do this, but just tell me who the 8 teams are and where they match up. And if you guys,
I think the 4 is going to be simple. Clemson, no order. Clemson, Ohio State, Bama, Oklahoma, Georgia, however you want to put them in. Those 5 are there.
Yep.
So I think it's more or less let's pick those last 3 spots.
Okay.
I think that's kind of a bit more interesting because that's where the debate might be.
Okay.
I do like Texas A&M after what they came off last year. They looked really good.
Even
I know they lost-
Kellen Mond.
Even without Kellen Mond, I still think they're Jumbo Fisher's doing great things there. I'm putting Notre Dame in there because they're always going to be a top 6, top 7 team. Now the 2 spots or the 1 spot left that I'm really trying to figure out is everybody's super high on Iowa State, and I don't know why. I know they got a new coach, but he hasn't played in big time football. He came from the MAC. Outside of that, this Cincinnati team is really, really interesting to me. Desmond Ridder is a stud of a quarterback. I've talked about him. He's going to go to the next level. I think he could be a early day 2 pick in the NFL. He could sneak into the first round.
He's going to be a first-round pick, I think.
Yeah. He played unreal against Georgia last year in the bowl game, and I don't think they lost a lot of guys. They have a soft schedule playing the AAC or whatever, AAA, whatever the hell that conference is called. But with the soft schedule, I think they only played Notre Dame's actual only real game.
Right.
So I think that's a very important game for both teams because I think that could determine if you lose, you're not getting in. It's that simple.
Oh, you guys played Cincinnati this year, eh?
Yeah. We played them and Iowa State, which I didn't realize Iowa State was so highly ranked. But I thought the Cincinnati game was a big one for us that could do a lot of damage and really fuck up our chance of the playoff. I just think they're a really good team and they're under table. What's that?
How deep into the season is that?
It's I want to say week 8, week 9. It's right in the heart.
Sounds like you'll be sitting on the couch beside me for that one.
Yeah, I'll be a little stressed out. I might have a game that day for all I know.
That sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
I'm trying to find it right now for you, buddy.
Yeah, that Cincinnati and Iowa State are the 2 teams that really intrigue me. And I want to see how they kind of pan out and how this works out with them. Because I think either one of those teams might be able to sneak into a playoff spot.
Yeah. That'll be
week 4.
Week 4. So
It's week 4.
Wow. So that's basically like the end of September, right? So
yeah.
It's likely that you have a football game. That sucks, man. Yeah, I had Cincinnati too. I think that they're definitely going to finish in the top 8, and if there was an 8-team playoff, that would be a team I'm looking at. Let me see. The other one that I had written down that is maybe outside of everyone's scope right now is the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Oh, no, but I just think I'm so worried about them losing both their running backs. That's going to be such a significant change to their offense. That was their offense, those 2 guys.
Sam Howell. If it's not for Spencer Radler, would be the first overall pick in this draft. This guy is a better version of what Baker Mayfield wants to be.
Wow. Put him ahead of Baker, eh?
Yeah.
Baker was my dog back in Oklahoma, man. I like that kid. You know that.
Yeah. Well, now he's in the dog pound, so he can go fuck himself. And yeah, I think Sam Howell, he's got it figured out. He's gonna be a first round pick. He's likely to be a top 5 pick, and he's gonna show out. They're playing in, I guess, what would be considered one of the easier football style conferences. I'm sure UNC has to play Clemson, so that's a good test for them. But I don't know, man. Outside of that, who in the ACC is going to challenge? And I'm not prepared to say that UNC is going to be one of those teams that gets themselves into the Final Four, because I don't think for them to do that. I mean, we're looking at Clemson not there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that they have a very, very strong possibility of getting there, and they're going to be one of those teams that people are like, who? The basketball school? They play football? I believe in Mac Brown, man. I believe in Sam Howell. I think that they're going to be much better than people expect.
Nobody wants to give any love to my Longhorns. Like that,
No.
they were coming on really hot last year. They only lost 1 down the stretch.
Their quarterback plays for the Colts now.
Yeah, doesn't mean nothing. So it's still Texas football. They have talking about an easy schedule. Both them and Oklahoma both have fairly easy schedules. I don't know if that's
Oklahoma's good. That's the difference.
Stop it.
That could be the difference.
Being a good football school and a great football school that's a big difference. And if you want to say going 8-4 every year is good, then I guess that's why you play in the Big 12 and everybody's leaving.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Like Oklahoma wins 10 games a year, every single year, and you're gonna sit there and say you're as good as them. No, stop it.
Yeah, they also have sent like how many in a row for quarterbacks to the league, and that are first overall picks. And Spencer Rattler's gonna keep that rolling.
Keep it up, fellas. Let's just see who's still standing at season's end here.
When you're 6-6, sounds good.
And
Yeah, let's give them let's give them 7-3.
nothing like beating. Yeah.
Jeez.
He's beating a guy when hey, we've been really nice about your Titans this year. You had to expect this.
Yeah, and yeah. So the other team that I had, and Chad already touched on it, Notre Dame. I want to put them higher because I think that they have a stacked roster, and I believe his name is Ken Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton. I knew it started with a K. Kyle Hamilton. I could not wait until that dude is in the NFL. That guy is a difference maker on defense, and I wouldn't want to play quarterback against him at Notre Dame in any game. Don't care who it is. I'm afraid of that. So I really don't know who their quarterback's going to be.
The
I know.
kid Wisconsin transfer, Jake Cron, senior.
Okay. So I
They've
know
already named him.
I know for sure that they'll have 5 tight ends that get drafted in the NFL this year, and then
Tight end
probably 2 or 3 offensive linemen. So I trust that they're going to have a run game. I trust that they're going to be able to do that. Jack Cohen from Wisconsin, I seen him play a couple years ago. I think that he's capable. He's not Ian Book, but he doesn't have to be. So yeah, I believe in Notre Dame. I'm not. Once the season starts, I won't because I fucking hate them. But yeah, I mean, it's not. This isn't the year for Michigan State, so we're not going to be in the top 8. We're not going to be in the top 10. If we crack the top 25 this year, great. We'll probably be in a shitty bowl game.
When was the last time Michigan State was their year? I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I like when was it? Was it when Kirk Cousins was there?
Yeah, and Connor Cook.
Connor Cook.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
they stomped out Notre Dame too. It was bad.
Yeah, and Connor Cook took them to the playoffs. How many times has the Longhorns been in the playoffs again?
I said I wasn't saying
often?
it to be an asshole.
Is it often?
Jeez.
Yeah.
It is enough. We're a historic franchise.
They've never been to the playoffs. Like between Texas fans and Michigan fans, holy fuck, man! Like if wishing and hopes and prayers were playoff wins,
Easy. I just had a Notre Dame fan making fun of me. They've only been relevant for the last 5 fucking years. Before that, they were going 8-5 every friggin' year.
Stop it.
You guys went 8-5 for like 13 or 14 years. You guys for the last 5 years have actually been like
We're the
something to
most
talk about.
storied fucking college in all of football.
Most storied college, yeah.
Just
but
because
what
you
have
had
they been for
some
the last
kid have a
25
fucking
years?
movie made about him on Netflix, don't come at me like that.
It was Disney Plus, I believe.
Whatever. Same shit.
Hey, we got to make sure if they start paying us, we got to make sure we take care of people, you know, just like we take care of our friends over at Joe Cool's, who always find a way to deliver us hot, fresh kitchen sink pizzas. They're open for business. You can go in there and sit down. I see their Instagram stories all the time. It looks like people are having fun. Probably just don't wander around without no mask on, you know?
Speaking about historic, it's like right across from the historic Victoria Park. Go get a nice little beverage, some eats, a little walk with the lady across the street at the park. Sounds like a lovely evening, right?
There you go. Yeah, you can go check out the Holy Roller.
Yeah.
Talk about how much Texas sucks.
Yeah. Oh, well, because they're
Under
repairing it
the
because,
windows.
because they're selling Holy Roller beer to earn money for it.
That's right.
All right. Last thing about college, and then I'm going to circle back to the NFL because we got a few NFL things to talk about. Liam, I'm going to warn you right now. We're going into overtime. We
He's
talked
shaking his head so much at you.
We talked about college football too much, but we're going to talk more about it. So this alliance between the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Pac-12, have you guys heard anything about it or know anything about what's going on?
I know they're just trying to power out the SEC. I know that much.
Yeah, so they're gonna use their voting rights to basically overpower each other, and they're all gonna just get on the same page, and basically whatever happens in college football now is gonna be decided by those 3 conferences because they control all the power votes. and they're going to leverage their schedules around it. I don't think that it's going to be the case where a Big Ten team won't play the SEC in a preseason game before the conference schedules start or anything like that. But I do think that they'll be far more likely to play each other. And by doing that, they obviously control the different TV networks. The Big Ten and Pac-12 have a big deal with Fox, and they have their own networks. The ACC, they have their deal with ESPN. So, I mean, you're really looking at all their individual networks plus ESPN and Fox versus CBS that has the SEC. I don't know, man. I think that I really don't know what the SEC did to piss these guys off other than get Texas and Oklahoma, but it seems like they might be out for blood here, and they're going to make an announcement on something like in the next couple of days, from what I hear. But what do you think this does to the entire landscape of college football? Like, is this, you guys are kind of indifferent because it doesn't affect your conferences directly?
Well,
It massively affects my conference. We don't have one. This really fucks us over. Because there's going to be some tie-ins with those schools about now, like having inter-super conference games, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And a school like Notre Dame, who doesn't belong to a conference, we could be the odd man out getting those special games. Because if you already have to play X amount of games and you're playing a cross-rival, well, let's use the Pac-12 and the Big Ten as an example. And also now you have to go play a team like Michigan or a team like Ohio State in your crossover. You're not going to throw a top 8 Notre Dame team on your schedule just because.
Right.
And now you
That's
have you have those teams, like, they're not going to say, like, hey, we signed this deal. You're working with us. We're all like, we're all as one here. Fuck the independents. And so for Notre Dame, I think it's a huge, huge issue for us because I don't know how it's going to play out because we could lose some of those games. And the one thing about our schedule is, like, yeah, we do have our Power to Puff games. I'm the first of it. Every school does. But when we fill our schedule up, we actually put competition in there. And now we could lose that because what top 20 school is going to add another top 10 school to their schedule?
SEC. It's just not the way. Like
Yeah.
I understand you getting screwed out of the Pac-12 guys, but it's just the SEC's counter to this would be like, listen, we're just going to go to the independents then, and we're just going to schedule up with them. Now you've only got 2 teams to talk about really in the independents with BYU and Notre Dame, but you can build through your own conference and then have a couple of independent games. And a team like New Mexico is going to be totally fine getting lollipopped against a team like Alabama because they're going to make some money off of the commercials.
Yeah, but and that's fine. But what he's saying is Notre Dame basically has their tie-in already to the ACC because that's their basketball conference. That's also the conference that they've kind of aligned themselves with recently. Also, they have their connection with the Big Ten. But if you're Michigan State, Michigan, Wisconsin, all 3 of those teams aren't adding Notre Dame to their schedule. So you're starting to lose your top end teams. And if you go to a conference like the Pac-12, I guess, and who would be the shitty, like Arizona State, like, is it worth Notre Dame traveling to, like, having a home and home series with Arizona State? Probably not. And it really doesn't affect, or Arizona, it really doesn't affect them the way that it needs to in the standings and in the schedule. And I think it's going to, like Chad's right, I think they're going to lose a little bit of their scheduling flexibility. And a team like, we'll say Texas, because they're jumping into the SEC, Texas isn't just going to be able to throw a Notre Dame game on their schedule because they know it's going to be a crazy watch game, because I think this alliance is going to block it. They're going to say, Notre Dame, go align yourself with the SEC if that's what you want. You want to be with us, you got to roll with us. It's Vin Diesel. Family is family.
The other thing was, like, the SEC teams are you going to add another top 10 team into your schedule?
Right.
Like, you already have 5 in your conference that are in the top 20 usually every year.
Yeah.
You want to add a 6th one of those games into your schedule? If you're a mediocre team, you went from going 6-4 or 7-4 to 5-5. Well, now you're not bowl eligible.
Right.
So I think that's where we're going to get shafted, is that way. Is like the teams aren't going to want to add a game that's that high risk for them. We might get a slapstick team like Vanderbilt, but that's not going to help anybody.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and it's the same thing as going to Arizona or Arizona State. Like it's just not helping you in the rankings. So I don't know. We'll see how it all goes out. It seems like there's gonna be more details. Maybe we'll touch on it on Thursday. But let's circle back to the NFL. And there's been lots of dual practices. This is not something new. This is something that's happened forever and always. But I want to know how you guys would feel if instead of a preseason, teams just had dual practices, they were televised, and it just kind of went from there. Because it seems like at the practices, everybody's playing. Like you can't bench your starters at practice, but
Yeah.
you're obviously not letting them go to the games. I think that it'd be a cool aspect to the game if you could get
Entertainment value. That'd be great
Yeah.
entertainment value. It's something different that you only get in the preseason.
Yeah, don't
Well-
put mics on that field.
Yeah. It might have to go on like DAZN or something. They won't be able to have this on regular TV. But are you guys in for that? Like, would you guys give up on the Like, I've actually enjoyed watching the preseason this year. For whatever reason, maybe it's just because we didn't have it last year and we missed it. But do you think that dual practices is suitable to replace the preseason? Does that give a fair chance to the fringe players on your roster to show out? I'm just curious your thoughts on all this.
How many would you show? Because you already got like Hard Knocks that's just pretty much doing that, right? So you can't show too much because you're just redoing the show then. And you can't show too little because if you only do one practice, then it's basically a game. Right?
Well, yeah.
I think it's a unique aspect just to see how teams prepare, and then how do they prepare differently when going up against another team? How much do they give away in practice? That's neat.
Well, the same amount they give away up at an exhibition, right? The whole thing with the exhibition is you want to get the guys accustomed to a game day schedule. That's literally the most important point of it. Seeing how they react on the fly, not having coaches on the field, making a mistake and doing the next play, opposed to in practice where you're going to stop them every single time. I think the players we get more out of having it as a dual practice, 100%. There'll be a lot more fights, I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely.
But yeah, as far as like preseason football is no better than the Pro Bowl. I don't know what's. I think people probably watch more preseason football than the Pro Bowl. But it's
Right.
important to get those actual live reps that you'll never get in practice. It just sucks because, like, as a fan, you want to see the best guys on the field, and we're stuck watching some pretty piss poor football. But it's still important to see how those guys react to change, and that's where the preseason is important.
Yeah.
Like that really bad blown coverage that just happened in the Jaguars game.
I don't know how far behind you are than I am then.
They just showed the replay of the touchdown.
Oh, okay,
What
cool.
happened?
I was gonna say
Sure.
the Saints are kicking off, so I was like, I don't know where you are.
They showed the replay.
Yeah. So it's 7-0 Saints right now. Not a big deal. Our boy TL hasn't even hit the field yet. We should probably check in with Aiden pretty soon. All right, so we're not too concerned about the practice thing and preseason. Seems like as much as it'd be cool, maybe it's not something that's going to fit into what the rosters need. For roster needs, did you guys see the report that came out today of the Raiders trying to get Khalil Mack back?
Yeah. Trades them away for 2 first-round picks that you completely blow, and then reach out 3 seasons later to try and get them back. Like, that organization is so poorly run, and it's such a surprise because it really seemed like Mayock had his pants pulled up nice and tight when he was an analyst, you know? And Gruden had enough time off that got to see enough people make enough mistakes that you thought that he would have had a pretty tight run ship too. It's a joke.
Well, who do you think's making the final decision? It's Gruden, right?
I don't know. Is it? Like, when is it Mayock's turn?
Man, Mayock probably makes $2 million. John Gruden makes 10. I mean, come on. We know who's making the decision there. I think that Mayock is probably more of a scout than an executive, and he gives the ideas. And these guys are just playing fantasy league. They traded him away, and now they're like, oh shit. Now that we used up all the draft picks we but you guys have used all the draft picks. Maybe we could just like switch back. Like, does that work? Can we go trade skis?
Has it happened before? Like this is really tail between your legs crap, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not sure of a player of Khalil Mack's stature that was traded at the point in his career that he was. That kind of a deal, like it seemed unprecedented.
Yeah. I just can't think of another team that came back with their tail between their legs. But there was another player that came back with his tail between his legs today, wasn't there?
There sure was. I haven't seen the whole story, but if you've read it, please go.
Everson Griffin. Yeah, so he left for greener pastures out in Dallas. Didn't work out in Dallas, and Dallas traded him to Detroit. Didn't work out in Detroit, and now he's come back to Minnie. And back in January, he tweeted out that Kirk Cousins is ass, and then also tweeted out to ask Zimmer if he really wanted Cousins. So he has said today he's coming back, and he is going to apologize to Kirk. Hopefully not too close. Hopefully Kirk will be in his plexiglass box.
Jesus.
But yes, that's funny that Everson happened to come back. Fan favorite. I'm sure the fans of Mini are going to like to have an 8-sack player back like that. So they'll be able to get over it, I'm sure. But he was only taking the truth, right? Kirk Cousins is out.
Well, I mean, he's not, but I understand why you'd say that as a Texas fan. What about Tua? You guys think I've been too harsh on him?
No.
Tua's dog shit.
I don't think he's dog shit. I don't think you've been too hard on him. But he
Like,
definitely
I would put Kirk Cousins ahead of Tua.
Yo, Tua is a cherry blaster, apparently.
I heard what cherry blaster. It means you got to poop, right?
So I think it's what happens when you're in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I was like that soundbite. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Our girl Casey came off the top rope with that one. Yeah.
No,
I'm going to
I
circle
think it's
back
too
to
hard.
this Evers thing. I don't know how you bring a guy back in your organization who takes a clean shot at your starting quarterback. If
And
you want to talk about a
coach.
joke of, you
Not
want
the
to
coach,
talk about a
but-
joke of a front office? Like, there you go. Like, there's your prime example.
Yeah.
Like, put your tail between your legs or not, fuck you. Go sit at home and make no money. You're gonna come after your head coach and your starting quarterback and like, oh, I'm gonna go make a public apology. You're a loser. Like, at least stand by what you said. If you're gonna be a man enough to tweet it out there for the whole world to see, you can't come back and be like, my bad. Didn't actually mean that. Hey, want to be friends? No.
Yeah, it's tough guy Twitter fingers, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I agree with you. I think that's bullshit. I mean, the news hasn't officially broken yet, but I don't know if you guys saw that TJ Watt is about to become the highest paid defender in NFL history.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's probably gonna break later on today or tomorrow morning. I just have insiders. It's not. I know what's up in the Steelers org, but yeah, that's gonna happen. They really want to get him done so that they can start focusing some attention to Mink, who's also gonna be. He probably saw that Jamal Adams contract and was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that'll work." We'll see where that one lands. I guess
Jamal's drive or Trevor Lawrence's drive there. Look, guys,
terrible.
was it?
Well, 2 handoffs that got stuffed, and then he took the stick route, and the guy didn't get to the sticks, and didn't make anybody miss. So it was 3 and out, which he went 1 for 1, but he checked down to the first down guy, and the guy didn't get to the first down. So
yeah, I mean the Saints are already back in striking distance, so
yeah,
I don't know.
could be a long one.
Yeah, I mean it's probably going to be much like that Steelers and Lions game where the Steelers just sprinted to a head start and then the Lions just kind of pulled up shop at the end. I'm not going to bore you guys with all the Steelers fandom, but
Wouldn't take much, Shane.
If you guys haven't heard the name Pat Fairmouth yet, you will. You will.
The only thing I care about the Steelers this year is that you win 9 games.
It's happening.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know it is. And I hammered that thing. And I also hammered that they'll make the playoffs. Because that was paying way too good of odds to not take it.
Yeah.
You saw Duck Hodges got cut today?
Yeah, by the Rams. So on Chad's point, I guess later on this week, like Wednesday maybe, we'll get that futures futures post up?
Yeah, I think so.
Does that give you enough time? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll give you a preview of some of the futures that we like. Chad just dropped the Steelers over 8.5 wins. That was plus.
It's 125 last time I saw it. When I got
Yeah,
it at, 'cause
okay.
I didn't want to let that thing drop.
Yeah. Them making the playoffs obviously is a big deal. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up here because I just did it yesterday.
I have it right here. Oh, I
Okay.
got logged out though. I'll grab it right here for you.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Courtesy of our good friends at CoolBet.
Yeah, all these odds are always cool bet, but there were some pretty interesting MVP and Rookie of the Year ones that I think Matt Stafford was paying a plus 1,800 to be the MVP.
Steelers playoffs are a 165.
Yeah, which is huge. I mean, that's a big one.
And then on the MVP, this is the one where like I thought things could get a little fun. Like,
Are
you
they the
drop a
highest in their
couple-
division for that make the playoffs, or just somebody that's
Cincinnati.
higher for them?
Cincinnati would be a higher payout to make.
What I mean is, like, are they the betting favorite to win that division? Is what I'm saying
No.
by based
The
off the
Steelers?
odds.
No, they're third.
Who's the bet? Is it the Browns?
The Ravens.
Ravens.
Oh wow, why? Lamar gets found out this year. I'm telling you.
So you're talking about MVP? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Who'd you say? Matty Stafford?
Yeah, I like Stafford, man.
So there's two that I liked when I looked at this originally. Josh Allen at plus 1,200. He was runner up last year. He had 46 total touchdowns. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers' season, that guy was hands down the number one MVP. There was the separation between second and third was so far.
Right.
The other one I like, and this is like obviously a bit wishful thinking, and Kaylin's gonna really like this one because he's gonna throw it in my face. Justin Herbert at a plus 2,000.
Telling you, man, he could
Like,
go off.
You could literally put a couple bucks on that and come out really ahead.
Yeah.
That guy was the offensive rookie of the year. He played phenomenal. He had 32 or 33 touchdowns as a rookie. They only improved the receiving core. So, like, for those kind of odds, I don't see why you wouldn't throw a couple bucks down on it. The other one's Dak at a plus 1,800.
Yeah.
What do you believe?
$10 on that?
Do you believe the Adam Schefter tweets though? Is he going to be back?
No, he's back. Yeah, week 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Dak was one of the ones that I said if it was an even race between Dak and anybody else, because Dak is on the Cowboys, it's going to go to him. I think that buys him a couple extra votes just being a Cowboy. And then, I mean, when it comes to rookies of the year, I think I threw Najee Harris as the offensive rookie of the year at plus 900. What are you rolling your eyes for? Plus 900? You're not taking those odds?
No, it's 950 now.
950. So there you go. I mean, that's a big one, man. Like, personally, I bet it, but I don't believe that he's going to have the opportunity because the Steelers' backfield is so deep this year. It's not going to be a one-horse race there. But there was another good one on there, Chad. The ones that I had for notables, what were they?
I don't have it up in front of me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, don't worry about it. I know I had the Atlanta Falcons at plus 900 on there to win the division. I don't need to continue to hammer that. And actually, I remember the one I was thinking. So the New England Patriots to win the division plus 285. I'm not saying that they're going to win the division. This is not us advocating for how to spend your money. But if you do spend your money, our friends at CoolBet Canada will take it.
Yeah.
With deposit code.
Oh,
right?
deposit code. Yeah, going for 2. They'll double your money. Plus, you send us a picture of your deposit to our DMs, and we'll send you a $25 gift card for CoolBet as well. But yeah, that'll go up on Wednesday, probably, I don't know, morning or evening, whatever.
Usually in the morning I get that bad boy up.
Yeah, whatever works around the schedule for work and football. We'll have that out. Maybe we'll touch on it a little bit more. We'll probably update it a little bit. I think Thursday it's just gonna be you and I, Kalen. I think Chad's got he's got a big practice because that'll be his last practice for his first game. So
First game
Sure.
Saturday, yeah.
Do you think Aaron Donald sniffs MVP talk? I mean, how many years is he going to win the top 100 best player or whatever, like, voted by the players
No
and
one
GMs
cares.
and stuff? You don't think so, eh? You don't like after so many years.
It's
you think
just
it's somebody
they're not
finally
going to
give
give
to
it
him?
to a defensive player. That's what it comes down to. That's not that he shouldn't be. It's the fact that quarterbacks sell seats.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
The one I like, and I know we didn't touch on. I literally just saw this right now. Comeback Player of the Year. You get Saquon or McCaffrey at plus 1,300.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could be worth a couple bucks.
yeah. I mean, the safe bet right now on that is Dak, right? Dak is
Dak and
basically-
Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Maybe Dak will he'll win the MVP and the comeback player of the year. But we'll see. We'll catch up again on Thursday. Chad, if we don't see you, definitely good luck in your game. Obviously,
Thank you.
Obviously,
Support the beef eaters.
if we can make it there, we will be there. It's at Citywide this week, right?
Citywide Field, 5:00.
Sunday? Saturday.
Saturday.
All right. Well, if I come, I'll be late because I'm working that day. But I'll see what I can do to get there. But anybody that has the free time, it's definitely worth going to check out. I mean, they won Ontario the last time there was a season, which feels like it was forever ago. It was 2 years ago. But yeah, go check.
Woo! Trevor getting jacked up in the end zone there. Nice,
Yeah.
nice throw though.
Great throw.
Yeah, but he completed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap up there, boys. We'll catch up again on Thursday. Chad, good luck, and
Thank you.
we'll see you on Monday. And maybe on Thursday we'll come up with some fantasy stuff to talk about because it's fantasy season. Golf clubs are put away. Fantasy computer drafts are out. So
You retired the clubs for the year already?
yeah, but
It's
hey,
over.
I just shot an 85 at Cobble Hill, and
we-
I put them away.
That's a good way to go out, Shane.
We both shot our best rounds of the year. We're like, so you're good to just call it a day? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how the season ended. I shot my
Yeah.
best round of the season. So did Shane. So
Yeah. And so we called it a day. So we called that a day. We're gonna call this a day. Boys, cheers. Drink your drinks, drink